say never be complete. I say stop being perfect. I say let's evolve. Let the chips fall where they may.
What I'm trying to do is to say what I think as clearly as I possibly can, and to listen to the feedback and modify my message when that seems to be necessary. And apart from that, I'm willing to let the chips fall where they will, because that's also part of the decision. The decision is that if you believe, if you choose to believe, if you choose to act as if the truth brings being into existence in the best possible manner, then you speak your truth, you examine your conscience, you listen to feedback, and you allow the events to unfold as they will. And I am trying to do that. That's what I'm attempting to do.
First, you have to give up. First, you have to know, not fear. Know that someday you're gonna die.
See, one of the things that characterizes the mythological figure of Christ, let's say, is that he takes on the burden of mortality voluntarily. He accepts it as a precondition of existence. And we have to do that because otherwise we get resentful. Like, life is hard, make no mistake about it. People's lives are tragic. You know, if you pick a random person off the street and you ask them about their life, man, usually there's things that have happened there. You know, they just beggar the imagination. It's no wonder people are angry and resentful and bitter. But the way out of that is to accept it, to accept your mortality. And that helps you transcend it. That's partly what the crucifix symbol means, because it was accepted voluntarily. You have to accept your death voluntarily. That's part of the path of the hero. It's a very difficult thing to do, obviously. What's your alternative?
You were looking for a way to change your life. You could not do this on your own. All the ways you wish you could be, that's me.
The truth is something that burns. It burns off dead wood. And people don't like having their dead wood burnt off, often because they're like 95% dead wood. And I'm not being, believe me, I'm not being snide about that. It's no joke. When you start to realize how much of what you've constructed of yourself is based on deception and lies, that is a horrifying realization. And it can easily be 95% of you. Things you say, things you act out.
People do it every day. They talk to themselves. They see themselves as they'd like to be.
It's allegiance to the truth, but the truth is a strange thing. It's a very strange thing. Often the hero in a story has to assimilate their dark side before they're capable of telling the truth. Right, in The Hobbit, for example, he has to become a thief. Right, because he has to get tough. That's the thing. That's the thing. Also, the thing about telling the truth is that it's not for the naive. Not at all. And partly it's because it burns off dead wood. It's partly because it hurts people's feelings. It's a sword. So you have to be a warrior.
Want to know what you're thinking?
Fuck what you know. You need to forget about what you know. That's your problem. Forget about what you think you know about life, about friendship.
If you talk to people who are suffering existentially, they're always in love with the products of their intellect. They do not pay attention. They say, well, I can't see how my life has any meaning. And the answer to that is, you're not seeing, you're thinking. And you can easily think yourself into a corner where your life has no meaning. It's a cheap trick. I can say, who cares about this documentary? No one, it's not going to matter in 1 billion years, right? Or in 100 years, or whatever. I can pick a time frame within which this event is irrelevant. Okay, so then you can derive from that fact that it's irrelevant. Or you can derive from that fact that that's a stupid way to think. So, and there's lots of other things that work better than thinking. Paying attention is better than thinking. It's much better than thinking. Paying attention allows you to listen to people who don't agree with you. Paying attention allows you to learn things that you don't already know. So, you know, if it's thinking or attention that should be the God, it's like attention rules. Thinking, that's a subordinate phenomena, but it likes to pop up on top, you know, because it likes its little tight theories and it likes to be right.
Hitting bottom isn't a weekend retreat. It's not a goddamn seminar. Stop trying to control everything and just let go.
You think of God as an ineffable representation of the highest possible value. That's what monotheists presume. They don't really presume God's nameable, and even the Israelites presumed that God wasn't nameable. It's ineffable, but it's the ultimate value, whatever the ultimate value is. You don't know what it is, but you kind of have some idea. And the idea of offering yourself up as a sacrifice to God is the same thing as determining that your life will be guided by unshakable commitment to the highest good. And what that means is that it's no longer your state that's in charge, or it's no longer your ego that's in charge. It's not even you that's in charge. It means that your conversations with people are no longer going to be about convincing them that your viewpoint is right. It means that what your conversation is going to be about in your speech is about attempting to represent what you believe to be true in the most concise and clear possible manner, no matter what. And then you do that by noticing very carefully and attending to what constitutes the truth. And then you let that take you wherever it will go. And that's the sacrifice of self to God.